Okay, so the first one, it's find the critical points, extrema, min, max, as ordered pairs of the function f of x equals 2x cubed minus 3x squared on a closed interval of -2 to 3. So you should have found your derivative, which is 6x times x minus 1, and so your critical numbers are 0 and 1. And so you have f of -2, f of 0, f of 1, f of 3. Because you have your two endpoints. And 0 and 1. So you got -28, 0, -1, and 27. So your minimum would be -2, -28. And your max would be 327. You good on that? I hate that it has that thing at the bottom.
What thing?
That camera at the bottom of the...
Oh, on your screen.
There we go. Okay, determine the intervals where f of x increases and or decreases in any relative extrema. F of x, so you were using your f of x is here. So you found your derivative, and your critical numbers were -3 and -1. So your interval test is -infinity to -3, -3 to -1, -1 to positive infinity. I worked my work out for I don't know what reason. So I have positive, negative, positive. So we have increasing, decreasing, increasing. So the relative max is at -3, 0. And the relative min is -1, -28. How did that go?
I had some of the wrong numbers, but I still had the right, like, increasing and decreasing.
Right. You don't have to use -4. That's just what I used. Like, the only thing you have to have are these intervals. Like, these intervals are set. But those are my numbers I chose to test.
Well, I messed up the derivative. So, but if I had used my derivative, I did the part you're testing on correctly. I did the derivative incorrectly, therefore the rest is not lining up. But I did the process correct to the wrong derivative.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I get it.
You threw a chain in there. You know I can't do the chain well. Thought it was like that. This I have no idea. What's going on?
I wrote change to better numbers so that I don't need a calculator, but I didn't. Did I?
I had it.
Okay,
Actually,
so you should have done the first and the second derivative.
Yeah.
So x equals the cube root of -3 over 20.
I would.
Because you would set this equal to 0.
Yeah, I guess I did not do that.
They're just horrible numbers.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just got lost in the, I didn't know
Yeah,
what
I
to do.
think because it was that weird of a number, that's why I got confused.
Yep.
I still have it.
I mean, whatever the numbers look like, you still have to do the work. So the cube root of -3 over 20, which is -5.31, and then that's your cutoff. It's negative, positive, concave up, concave down, concave up. So your point of inflection is at -0.531, and 0.761. So there wasn't a misprint, it just, they were
Like,
gross numbers.
okay, I just got confused because I don't really know what to do with it, like that.
Well, you just subtracted the 3 over divided by 20. And then you have x cubed, so it would be the cube root.
Yes, I thought Calc said you couldn't do it like that. He made fun of me when I did it.
Why?
I don't know, he said you just have to make it so it equals 0.
Right.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing. So I set this equal to 0. So you have, the 2 doesn't equal 0, obviously. So you have
Yeah.
20x cubed plus 3 equals 0. So 20x cubed equals negative 3. So x cubed equals negative 3 over 20. And then you have to take the cube root. So x equals the cube root of negative 3 over 20.
Then just do the same thing. But complicated.
Yep. And then you just test your intervals. And I shouldn't have called this a critical number, but I don't know what else to call it. Okay, on a number 4, it says use the second derivative test, if you can, to find all the relative extrema. So first derivative is 3x squared minus 12x. So your critical numbers were 0 and 4. And then your second was 6x minus 12. So the second derivative test says you have to plug in the critical numbers, so the zeros of the first derivative, into the second derivative. So f of 0 gives you negative 12, and f double prime of 0 gives you negative 12. F double prime at 4 gives you 12. So we have a relative max at 0, 4. How did I get a 4? I plugged the 0 into the original. And a relative minimum, because it's positive, at 4, negative 28. I plugged it in to the original. Okay. So overall, did it go okay?
Stupid issues that messed me up. Just stupid issues that messed me up.
Wait.
They're just dumb mistakes that I made.
Stuff that I tried really hard, okay?
You didn't turn yours in, though.
I thought you said it.
Yeah, I wanted them turned in.
Oh.
I didn't know if we were supposed to, so I did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I thought you said not to turn it because we were going over.
No, turn, like, not physically into my hand, but turn them in.
Oh, like,
Mm-hmm.
go in, do it now.
Mm-hmm.